Hey guys, my limited blacked out merch is available now. Go grab yours, linked in the description. All proceeds go towards Vader Episode 2. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today I want to talk about some Tales of the Jedi stuff now that Andor is finally over. In episode 4 of Tales of the Jedi, Dooku deletes all information regarding Kamino in the archives and walks out to see many people chattering. He asks Jedi Master Jocasta, the archive keeper, what the fuss is all about. She says, Qui-Gon has claimed to have encountered a Sith Lord, and that he always had quite the imagination, much like you, Dooku. Dooku glances around the room at the chattering members of the Jedi Temple, observing everyone, and he says, a quality valued less and less in these great holes. This right here is literally the reason Dooku turned to the dark side, in my opinion. And I think this line really explains more than what you might think in the moment. So let's talk about it for a minute. Dooku saw that the Jedi didn't care anymore to think for themselves. This was the reason that Qui-Gon was not on the Jedi Council despite being granted the rank of Master. He had the tendency to act on his judgment and to sway to the will of the Force, rather than being dogmatic like the Jedi had become. For example, no other Jedi member would have manipulated the chance cube like he did in the bet to free Anakin as a slave from Watto. Every other Jedi would have left it to chance, but Qui-Gon took control of the situation and wouldn't have let this vergence in the Force that was Anakin to be taken from him by the luck of a chance cube, which, let's be real, was probably rigged by Watto anyways. This one line to me meant that Dooku fully believes the Jedi Council has changed and doesn't care for their fellow Jedi to think for themselves or to really problem solve, but rather to be more like a machine, a robot, and just live within the confines of their dogmatic rules, like Palpatine said. It's not in a Jedi's interest to have an imagination. That's such a silly thing, for this would lead into a Jedi thinking for themselves. When one has so many rules to live by that are forbidden to be broken, let's say, it really clouds one's judgment. Imagine going through a scenario and situation and you'd act on impulse as the Force would, but you have to stop yourself. You have to think, would a Jedi do this? Is this okay? Would the Council approve of this? All of that is BS. And Qui-Gon never believed in that stuff, neither did Dooku. They trusted in the Force. Feel, don't think. All of these different rules really clouds one's judgment and takes them off the track of the Force entirely because they're not feeling it anymore. They're thinking about what they can or cannot do. That's not the Force. So when one of their highly respected Jedi like Master Qui-Gon Jinn says to the Council that he encountered a Sith for the first time in 1,000 years, and no one believes him because they're too caught up in their own arrogance, thinking no one would dare challenge the Jedi, as they haven't in over 1,000 years, and why would they? Qui-Gon was betrayed by the Jedi Council in the end. They didn't send any Jedi to help him and Obi-Wan in case the Sith Apprentice or Lord would show up to interfere. And we learned more about this in episode 4 of Tales of the Jedi, and I really appreciated the extra insight that it gave. It changed a little bit in canon, with Yadal's death. I believe this death was a lot more interesting. It was a lot more impactful to the story than Yadal's original story, which was her just kind of saving Coruscant and saving Anakin from defusing a bomb into her own body. Sure, very gallant, very nice effort, very sacrificial, but in the end, for the story, I think this is much more impactful that Dooku would dare to betray Yaddle and, of all things, the species of his own master, who was Yoda. Now, of course, I'm going to make a video of what if Yoda showed up instead of Yaddle, and I think that'll be an interesting one because he would probably fight Dooku and Sidious would most likely try to fight or join in. So let me know your thoughts about that if you made it this far in the video down in the comments, and I can incorporate some things into the fanfiction as well, which I think would be pretty sweet. So in the end, I think this was all that was needed for Dooku to finally be pushed into the hands of Sidious, pledging his loyalty to the dark side of the Force, and killing Yaddle as tribute to his new master. I think the Jedi got kind of soft with 1,000 years of the Sith not being around. I think for this reason, they didn't really understand anymore what the Force was about, and rather started trailing more into politics and having all these heavy rules that just really swayed them away from being what a Jedi really is. I think Dooku found this to be annoying, and that's why he stepped away, as well as Qui-Gon Jinn. And Anakin too, I think. So I'll make some more videos on this topic. I think it's a pretty interesting thing to dive into. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching today's video. Check me out on Spotify, and thank you so much to everyone who has purchased the Black Friday merch. The blacked out Order 66 design is selling out really fast. You guys have done a phenomenal job. All proceeds go towards episode 2, of course. And I can't wait to show you guys the future merch coming in a few months, of course, for Christmas in just a few weeks, and trailing into 2023. I got some really special stuff for you coming. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, the Force will be with you always.